I'd love to take a quick look at it just to see if you did it correctly. And you guys remember you can write in your book, right? Did everybody do it in your book? Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. It's kind of nice that they have it all put out there for you. Did you get yours, Jack? Can you open up to your outline?
Yeah.
Let's see. Nice. Good. Awesome.
So
Great.
I forgot to forgot to read. Well, I thought we were supposed to copy down what you did, so I just
Okay.
ended it. Right, so I just ended up
okay.
copying what you said on the
Oh,
text
okay.
and
So you didn't
outline
quite
up.
do it correctly then.
Yeah.
Okay. This is JC's. Okay.
Yeah.
So no, it's okay. So what you can do?
I did it in here though. I redid it in here.
Oh, okay. Can I see that one? Can you open up to that one?
Wait, did I put it in here?
Oh, well, you find it. I'll look at Lily's.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nice use of all of your symbols. That's awesome.
I was able to write mine down.
Write yours down too? Okay, good. You guys, it's not absolutely necessary that you have to write it out separately on a piece of paper.
Not like that.
Oh, you finished it already? Mm-hmm. Well, wow. You guys are like ahead. You didn't have to do that. That's this week's assignment. But don't worry, I still have more for you to do. All right, good job. So, okay, what we're going to do to start with, Hannah will be back in just a minute. She'll catch on what we're doing. I want you to, so what you need is your keyword outline out. And you're going to pick, I'm going to pick one of the paragraphs. And I want you, you're going to go ahead and everyone's going to take a turn and stand up here again. And what we're going to do is it's going to look like this. You're going to have your key, I have a little cheat sheet one here that I have. You're going to take just one paragraph and we're going to practice the presentation just for a little bit again today, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the first line, and the first words that I have here for the first is sister, kind, just. You're going to look at those three words and you're going to think in your head and you're going to go, sister was a kind and just queen who wanted to defend her kingdom. So you're going to think what the sentence is in your head from those three words, and then you're going to say it to everybody without having to look back down. Okay? It doesn't have to be long and complicated. It can be short and to the point. All right? It's just for practice, okay? Then you'll take the next line and be Jadis, who was her sister, which clause? Jadis, who was her sister, was greedy and horrible and wanted to rip the kingdom away from her sister. See how I did that? So you're just going to take the three words or whatever symbols you wrote down and try and come up with just a little sentence from it and then tell it to everybody, okay? And try not to look back down. If you need to, if you're like, oh shoot, I've totally lost it, look back down, get the sentence of what you want in your head, and then look up and say what you want to say, okay? So, Jack, let me see that, the other outline. Perfect, so you'll use this. So, you're going to look at your first three words there, and you'll make a sentence, all right? So why don't you start for us, Jack?
Okay.
I'll put your paper up here for you. And I'm going to have you do your third paragraph. Okay? So you're all the way, most of the way through the story. So you're going to start here. You're going to, and remember it's from the sister's perspective.
I have to do all
four of these. So you're going to come up with four sentences, one at a time. And you start with the first one. Get it in your head, and then say it up to everybody, okay? And remember, do you guys remember the rules for when you're standing up here? Miss Lily? Hold on to the podium. Any others?
Keep eye contact.
Eye contact. I've got one more.
Not looking down at the paper.
Lily?
Try not to say
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Try not to say Good job, you guys. All right. Take it away, Jack. And you guys don't have to say the title or anything this time. We're just practicing the sentence. Look up at everyone. Okay?
So for my first one, I just got when.
Okay. You don't have to tell us what it is. Just look at it. It's just for you. All right? So just get it, the sentence in your head and then tell us. So he's do the third paragraph, everyone. It's the final paragraph of his.
Jadis' sister thought she was gonna win the war.
Remember to look up when you say your sentence.
Jadis thought she was gonna win the war.
If you absolutely can't remember, we can go back and kind of look at what the story's about. Because you can remember?
They were at each other's faces, and the last of Jadis' soldiers had fallen. Victory, Jadis' sister shouts. Jadis says, "Yes, victory, but not for you." Then she spoke the deplorable word. She was dead alone, the only living thing under the sun.
Nice. Good job. Nice work. All right. Good job.
Way to lead out.
And the other thing that I forgot to mention last week, you guys, was when you're finished, go ahead and say, "Thank you for listening." That way people know that you're finished. Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Very good. Thank you, Jack. All right, that way people know that you're ended. Because some of you, at the end last week, it was almost, you felt a little awkward because it was like, oh shoot, how do I finish this? And that was my fault. I forgot to tell you how to finish, okay? So that was not on you. So when you're finished, just say, thank you for listening. And then you can go sit down. All right, good. So Hannah, do you get I'll re-explain real quick what we're doing.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. What you're doing is I'm going to pick one of your paragraphs, all right? And you're going to take the three or whatever the words or symbols that you wrote down, and you're going to look at each sentence and figure out what you want to say, and then look up and say it without looking back down at your paper.
Okay.
All right, so you just formulate everything in your head, and then you say the sentence. And then you'll move on to the next one. So there's not really any reading that you guys are doing. It's more...
This is going to be easier for me.
Yeah.
Way
Well, I
easier.
thought it might be more fun for you,
Yeah.
just because you're not having to focus on reading. It's more you're coming up with it in your head and then
Just say.
saying it to everybody. Okay? Good. Abel, why don't you go next?
Okay.
And I'm going to have you do the second paragraph. The third.
I know, my third's like the best one.
Well, the third is the exciting paragraph, of course.
I got the third one.
I have the best idea. Okay.
You're doing the rising action. What's happening? Crazy things are happening. Whoops.
Like, is that a little bit shorter? Oh, that's how you.
Yeah, you just push it up. It's okay.
To win over the throne from my sister.
Okay, take your time.
To win over the throne from my sister, I of course just had to start a war. Although I did promise to use no magic in the war. The battle lasted 3 days. It was a great legendary war.
Good. It's okay. It's okay. Slow down. So with your second one, make sure you have. It doesn't have to be really long and lengthy. Like just get it to the point, and then your goal is to work on just looking up and saying your sentence without having to look back down. So it can be shorter. That's okay. Short and precise is fine right now.
It took a war to win the throne over from my sister. We both promised no magic in the war, but the great battle lasted 3 whole days in the city of Charn. my foolish sister waited until the last minute when all of her soldiers were gone and the last one had fallen. I was getting a bit cocky and was bragging about my victory that I thought I had.
Good.
Okay,
That was much better. Good job.
Nice.
Good. Guys, it's okay to fumble a little bit, all right? Like, this is, like I said, we're practicing this to get the idea of it, all right? I was going to tell you guys, too, that, so, I know some of you do not care for speaking up in front of people, but I don't actually either. And look at what I'm doing now. I'm teaching you guys a class, and I have to speak in front of you. And my job for the last 20 years has been teaching and teaching kids how to dance. So, you don't know what this practice could be doing for you, all right? Even if you don't like it, you might someday, it might just be to help at a co-op and help teach your kids someday, or you never know what kind of job you're going to have. It might be helpful for whatever kind of job you have. You might have to give speeches at your job. You never know what's in store. So I just wanted to remind you of that even though this might not be very fun sometimes right now, it's good practice, because then if you do end up having a job someday where you have to speak, you're going to be like, okay, I've done this a little bit already. It's not like I've never done this before. You're a little bit prepared. Okay? Good. Lily, would you mind going next, please? And how about you do the first paragraph? Okay?
The sister was nice and Jadis didn't like her because she was nice.
Oh, hang on. You still got a couple more. I want you to do, so that was, I see. Okay. So try to do one for each sentence. So you did the first two. I see. Okay. Wow, you were very precise and to the point. Wow, good job. Nice work. I did not think you could say it in that few words, but good job. Nice work. Wow. Nice work.
That was impressive.
I didn't think that was possible, but looking at your outline is totally nice work. And Hannah, how about you go next?
Okay.
And let's also have you do the first paragraph.
Okay. Okay. Think about how I want to do this here.
Take your time.
Okay, this is going to be interesting, but we'll see how this
That's
works.
okay.
Okay. I, the sister of Queen Jadis, sorry.
So it can be a short sentence. Just tell us who the sister is.
See, they don't reference the name, so it's really
Right.
hard.
So you just use sister. So you can that's her name. So for
Okay.
now, yep, sister is her name.
Hey, sister. Yeah, I had this way better formulated in my head.
It's okay. It doesn't have to be what you're gonna write down like in your story necessarily right now. It can be just you're just trying to get the point across to us.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's see.
It doesn't even have to be in what person you're writing in necessarily.
Okay, that makes it a little easier. Okay. Yeah, I have. This is hard.
Okay, so let me help you out. With the first one, you could say, sister is the kind sister of the evil Queen Jadis.
Oh, okay.
See what I
Oh, okay.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah. No,
Okay. Just keep it short and to the point. So go ahead and say something like that.
Okay. So, the sister of Jadis was a very nice and loving.
Perfect. No, that's great. That's great.
Jadis was very foolish and selfish.
Good. Try that one more time and looking up.
Oh, okay. Jadis was a very foolish and selfish person. Charn was a gigantic city, and it was very lively. It had palaces, towers, rivers, and pyramids.
No, that's good. Good.
Thanks
Nice
for
job.
listening.
All right, Cohen. Last but not least, you're up. And I'm going to have you do paragraph number 3.
Lucky.
Along with me. Alright, so hands on the side. Formulate what you want in your head, and then look up and say it.
Sister thought the war was won, but didn't realize her sister was tricking her. Using that, Jadis said, but not for you.
Good. Nice work. Good job. Thank you for listening. Good. Alright, so now, as you guys all can see, everyone has their different strengths and weaknesses, right? Some of you like to elaborate more, and obviously, like Jude, who's not here today, loves to elaborate a bunch. Like, that's a strength of his.
I like being dramatic.
Right? Yes, you like being dramatic. Lily likes being straight to the point and keeping it short. All right, so I want you guys, everybody has something that they're good at and less comfortable with, okay? And I want you guys to push yourself out of your comfort zone just a little bit this week, okay? And when you're, so what you're gonna do is you're writing it out this week, which I know some of you already have, but I want you to re-go over it, and maybe, Lily, you could work on elongating it just a little bit, making the sentences just a teeny bit longer, which I know can be difficult sometimes. And same with you, Cohen. Maybe just a little bit longer sentences, okay? Abel, making sure you're structuring it right, even though you're making sure it's dramatic. You can make sure all the structure is in there. Good, okay? And the other thing I want to remind you guys, too, when you're writing this out, make sure there are 4 sentences in each paragraph, okay? That's very important, because you're not allowed to have less than that, okay? You have to have 4 sentences.
You have more?
Yeah, you can if you want to, but I wouldn't do too many more at this point. I would say let's cap it at 6, all right? So no more than 6 sentences per paragraph, because otherwise it gets, like, we're not working on that at this point, on having it super long, all right? But you can. You have it exact at 6? Okay, and that's fine. That's fine. If you already wrote it and you went over, then I'm not going to worry about it this time. But you did 6, so perfect. So 4 to 6 sentences, let's say, per paragraph. Okay? 4 is the minimum, 6 is the max. Okay? So good job, you guys. So this week, what you're going to do is you're going to write out your rough draft of this. It'll have the 3 paragraphs, and you're also going to write your final draft this week with it. Okay? So it's basically the same thing. So your rough draft is messy. It's got lines all over it. You've been working on it because you're only writing in pencil or pen, remember, which reminder to Cohen and Lily. I see you wrote in pencil. You got to use pen. All right?
I wrote in pen.
You wrote in pen?
Here.
Oh, okay, perfect. You're just writing that. Okay. I'll have the assignment out for you guys to write it down when we're ready. But remember to write in pen, everyone. Okay? okay? Because we're working on not erasing and trying to put down on paper, like the first time, what we really are thinking, okay? And take your time, all right? So we're going to write the rough draft. It's all messy. Make it what you want. It can be as messy as you want, all right? As long as you know what it says. And then you're going to write your final draft in either pencil or you are allowed to type it also, okay? But still has to be double spaced, okay? All right? That is the only time like you can use pencil. Because by that point, with the final draft, you should know what you wanted to say. You've just done your rough draft, okay? And that way you can then give the final draft to your parents and they can read it all the way through, all right? And not have to look at your messy paper, okay? All right, so I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and skip on to page 31 and we're gonna add a new style in. So we've done the ly adverb, we've done the who which clause, and now we are going to do the strong verb, okay? The strong verb makes for strong imagery, okay? So there's some examples on that page that we can look at that explains that to us a little bit. Because we want to, at this point, start trying to use stronger, more vivid verbs, all right, to help get our point across. So if you'll look there, instead of Jadis came to the fight, instead we can say Jadis stormed to the fight, okay? We have Jadis went to the throne room. Jadis marched to the throne room, okay? You guys see the difference there? How it paints this different picture in your head of just Jadis went to the throne room and said, Jadis marched to the throne, marched to the throne room. Like it's totally different when you're thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Sister saw the end. Sister realized the end was near. You can imagine when it's saying sister realized the end was near, her going, oh no. Like you can imagine the look on her face a little bit more, right? Okay? So, we're going to real quick, look at what I just did. I just said, yes.
So, my kids chose a name for the sister. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, I don't think she has a name.
She doesn't technically have a name,
Yeah.
so it changes the story a little bit. I think I would say let's not. I don't know.
I thought about that.
I don't know if
It
it
kind
has.
of, it kind of works better when they
Right.
saying
But they don't give us one, and I think they're wanting you to work with
What you have.
with what they've given you. So let's just keep it to sister. You guys, I gotta practice too. Out it comes. Let's just keep it to sister and work on that. So that's something you can work on in your paper a little bit, is changing that little piece. Let's just keep it to what they have for us in here, because they haven't said anything about that being okay to change that. So I'm just gonna stick with the book and we'll keep it to sister. Okay. So we also have, if you'll look on page 32, banned verbs, and they give you a whole bunch of alternatives. And I am going to ban a couple of those. So when you write your paper, so Cohen and Lily, since you this week you'll have to go through your paper and look and see if you have used any of these, and you'll have to take it out and replace it with a stronger verb, because that's the goal here with the strong verbs, is changing and to more vivid imagery. Okay, the two verbs that I'm going to ban are see. Column there on page. Is everybody on page 32?
Can't use any of
You
those.
cannot use. No, you can't use the word see. But all of the words underneath are free game. So what it is they're giving you all the different alternatives, the options of what you can use. You just can't use the word see. Okay? See or saw. Any of that. Okay? So you can't use these. Instead, you have to say sister observed, or sister examined or discovered.
Or like
They've
when
got
see each other's faces, you could say they were close enough until they could gaze upon each other's faces.
Exactly. See what I mean? Yeah. Yes, Lily.
In our old school, our band words were seen something.
Really? Well, the teacher is allowed to pick 2 out of the list here of which ones. Yeah. So that one's a pretty big one for this particular story. Oh, hey, lucky you. However, you do still have to input a strong verb into each paragraph. Okay? That's good. That means you. Again. My goodness.
I did it too, without realizing when I was up there. I was like, oh.
See, guys, this is good practice for me too. So the other one that I'm going to ban is the go, went, the come, came one.
I was waiting for you to say that. I was like,
went.
go.
Well, it's just really pertinent to this story, and so it will be really fun to see what you come up with. All right. So instead of sister or went up the stairs, you could say, since sister charged up the stairs with her army after Queen Jadis. Okay? The idea is to, again, create more vivid imagery in people's minds when they're hearing your story. Okay? So, does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't have any of those ones.
Look at you. You guys were already thinking ahead. Nice job. However, even though you don't have any of those, I still want you going through, and if you have any verbs, you have to make sure there's a strong verb still in every one of your paragraphs, okay? All right, let's go to page 33, and we're going to kind of go through the activity here. So, go ahead and get your pens out, and we can write in the book what we just had to come up with. Does everybody have
Not a pen.
I've
But
got
it
pens
doesn't
in here.
have
Do you
the
need a
eraser.
pen? Cohen, do you need a pen?
He doesn't have an eraser.
There was pen in here.
So that doesn't have any.
What happened to the pen? Oh, there we go. Okay, the first one. So
I've got a
basically,
Samsung
we're just
pen.
brainstorming with the dress-ups that we've, like the styles that we've already come up with. So, number 1, the battle. The first one is the who-which clause. All right. The battle which. Now, don't write anything down yet. Which would last 3 days. Was between Jadis and her sister. Jadis and sister. I'm running out of room. Okay. Now, if you'll look down here, right below, it says there's an ly adverb and a strong verb. We need to add that into this sentence. Okay, so that's just what we're practicing here. So, the battle, which would last 3 days. What verb is really weak in here? Yeah.
What I wanted to do, what I wanted to do, the battle which raged on for 3 days.
Good. So yes, that's good. So we could use raged in place of this. That's way better. Okay. What's the other spot? Well, okay. So let's see. Let's work off of this. That would rage. What's an ly adverb that we could use to go with that?
Horribly.
Raged
Horribly.
horribly.
There's also.
Okay, so I want you guys to write down this sentence now, on the paper, the first line. Yeah, the first line. So you can just see what we're working with. So the battle, which would last 3 days, was between Jadis and sister. Write that in number 1 on the top line there.
The idea I had at first was the battle which raged on for 3 days was horribly violent or something.
Yeah, well, you guys can make it your own. This is just an example, like to practice using the different words and implicating the ly adverb. It already implicated the who, which clause and the strong verb. All right. Once you're done with that, on the 2 lines below, under the strong verb, you can write raged, and horribly can be on the line for the ly adverb.
Dang it, it's going off.
Oh, that's okay. Just like do between Jadis and then sister, just right here below.
I ran out of room to even write sister, so I just Jadis and sis.
That's fine, guys. This isn't. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to help us get the idea across.
And little sister.
Well, that is interesting. I wonder who was the older sister. Did it say in the book?
Yeah,
I think
I
it
thought
did.
Jadis was.
Jadis was
Jadis?
because
Yeah.
I think Jadis is.
I swear I remember Jadis saying like my little sister or my younger sister or something.
Yeah, she might have. I can't. Shoot, I can't believe I can't
I'm
remember
gonna
that.
confirm.
How many times I've read this book?
We have LY after right here.
Yes, yeah. Don't forget you can use that on page 21 is your huge list of ly adverbs to help you out. Okay, so this is going to take too long for you guys having to write this out. So don't worry about. Go ahead and just stop. Go ahead and stop. I'm not worried. We're just going to do this on the board. Okay. So let's do number 2 real quick, and then we're gonna. I want to make sure we have time to fully go over the assignment. Okay. So number 2, sister blank her brave soldiers to fight.
Forced.
Okay, but if we're coming from sister was kind and the good queen, she's not going to force her soldiers to do something. That's more Jadis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're looking for something a little bit different. Like, if she is the queen, then she could order her soldiers because they're following her, right? If she's kind of like the captain. Sister ordered her brave soldiers to fight. What's another one that, like, if it's towards the end and they're working their way close to victory, what's another strong verb that we can
Gathered?
use? Well, they're already gathered.
Okay.
They're already doing it. I have something else kind of in mind.
Summoned your soldiers.
Summoned her soul. Yeah, summoned would work. We've got summoned. What's another one? I think we spelled that right. Summoned. What about urged? Sister urged her soldiers to fight, like kind of to the last minute. Yeah. You guys think of any, like one more? Somebody besides Abel?
I'm trying to think of
I
one.
know.
You can look at your list there, right on the other page. Under the one that I banned, go, went, come, came. They were going. Is there something on there that...
Sent.
Yeah? Sent her soldiers to fight. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little on the weaker side because that's something that's like really going to grab our attention. Yes, Lily? Creeped? Creeping generally means you're like, and you're slowly going, and they were like, yeah, they were almost winning here, so they were getting really,
Descend? Wait,
not quite.
no. This is guitar.
This one is a hard one. Yes? Bolted to the fight? Yeah, you could use that. Sister, oh wait, no, that's not quite right. Yeah, sister, because she's telling, it's not what sister's doing, it's what she's telling her soldiers to do. So it's more of a talking strong verb. So another one here that I'll give you guys. This one is a harder one. She exhorted her. Have you guys heard that word before?
No.
You just learned a new word. Exhorted kind of means like you're imploring, like, come on, you can do it. Like, let's go. We got this. Like you're urging. It's basically the same as urging. Like it's just a different word for it. Exhorted her soldiers to the fight. All right. Okay. Good. All right. Let's go over the assignment real quick. Just I want to make sure we're really clear on what it is that you guys are supposed to do. And I have it. I'll also send a picture again this week. Was that helpful, you guys?
Yes,
I have the. Okay. So, but you guys can write it down. I'm going to give you time to write it down this week.
Write it on
That. Well, can you guys still see it?
It's pretty bold.
Where should I put it?
You can go ahead
Whatever
and
Spanish
if
is
you
for
have
help.
another piece of paper, you can write it in there. Or if you want, you can just write it right here.
Oh, that would be better.
We'll see it. Now I can't see. Okay.
I'm gonna hold it up for you.
Sure, that'd be great. Then I can look at my paper here. Yes, so I have in very bold letters there. Use checklist. Well, that's what I'm gonna go over. I don't think so. We didn't have any. Oh wait, yes. That's only one chapter. I know, right?
Did they ever tell you?
No, they do not.
You gotta make it up.
They didn't tell you what the deplorable word is?
My mom was like, well, why do you call it the deplorable word? Just use what they call it. I'm like, they never tell you. And she's like,
It's
well,
in
why?
suspense a little bit. There's some mystery to it.
And I spoke the deplorable word. Deplorable word.
All right, does everybody have
I
it
thought
written down?
deplorable word was just the name of the power.
Well, it basically is, because the word, that particular word, is power. So they're referencing.
They don't even tell you how to say it though.
No, they did not. Okay, so
You could say like ceiling, and then everything just is disappeared.
okay, so guys, real quick, I want to go over the checklist because I've noticed with just the activities we've been doing, not everyone is always implementing everything. So I want to make sure and stress it's very important that you remember the checklist. And that's why I put it in bold letters there, underlined, okay? And again, I will send a picture of this to the group chat so that you guys can all see it and reference it. But I want you to remember when you're writing it, top. So everybody turn to the checklist, please, so we can all see it. So it's page 34. And I just we came up with this brilliant idea, you guys. From now on, why don't we just go ahead when we're writing the assignment, write it underneath the checklist if there's room. And then you are seeing it with the assignment. So next time, go ahead, let's do that, okay? Everybody Everybody has it?
Yep.
Okay. So, for the format section, remember name and date in your upper left-hand corner. Okay? Always have it double spaced. And your title is centered. Okay? On the top line. Alright? For the structure, make sure you're following the story sequence chart. So basically doing the 3 paragraphs, alright? And the 4 sentences. That's the next one. Each paragraph contains at least 4 sentences. Boys. 4 sentences minimum. All right. You can do up to 6 if you would like, but let's keep it at that. All right. And remember to have your title be taken from the keywords from your story clincher sentence, which is your last sentence. You want to come up with your title from that sentence. Okay. Now for the styles, every paragraph, 1, 2, and 3, has to have an ly adverb, a who, which clause, and a strong verb. So you have to, it's not just one for the whole thing, you have to have one in every single paragraph. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yep.
And if you have time, you can work on your punctuation and your spelling and capitalization is pretty straightforward. I'm assuming you guys can all manage that one. At this point in time. But
Probably like the easiest
if
one.
you have extra time, so like Cohen and Lily, since you guys already have most of your rough draft finished, you could take a little extra time and make sure you have added in all of the ly adverbs. And also don't forget the band.
Yes.
Did I write that on there? I did not. I'll write it on there and send it in the picture, you guys, the verbs that I banned. All right?
I have them underlined on my little list here.
Oh, that's
Good. Good. And remember, guys, I want you, when you're doing this, work on the part that you're least comfortable with. If you are a man or woman of few words, try and expand just a little bit. If you like to be dramatic, maybe try to be a little bit more precise and to the point. All right? Let's work on the things that you're not as comfortable with. Okay? Good job today,
would
guys.
be here because his story would be here.
Remember, you do not always leave your whole backpack. Leave it in here.